So, first of all, let's just go on the classics, the original series, TNG, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, all those. What is your favorite Star Trek series, and why? Do you have a favorite?
My favorite is definitely Deep Space Nine.
Mm,
There's a bunch of reasons. For one thing, it went against character essentially for Star Trek series. It was dark, it was messy, it showed the undercarriage of the Federation. I think it was one of the best series on television, regardless of sci-fi or whatever the genre was,
mm,
of a father-son relationship. You
mm.
know that especially in the black communities, you see if you hear it from their perspective, their point of view, it's like we've never seen that before.
I think my favorite though is the Next Generation,
Hmm.
but because that was the show that was it's like my Star Trek. I watched the original series when I was little, when I was a tiny little boy. But it was already 30 years old when I was watching it, so it was really quite dated. Um, and then, but then the TNG came along, Next Generation, and I was watching them new every
Right.
week, and I'd never seen it before. Sort of the brand new series was coming out. I was having to like wait for it week on week, you know. And then episodes like Best of Both Worlds just blew my mind.
I mean, at the time in 19 was it 87 when it started, it went
Mm.
where no TV series went before.
So I actually put this question out on Facebook a lot and stuff, and some people did just their answer was I said, "What's the best Star Trek?" And some people's answer was Star Trek. It's all brilliant.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, but not all Star Trek's equal. It just isn't. Um, if I was going to ask you then a phaser against your head, what is the best Star Trek series? Though, would it be Deep Space Nine still? Is that why it's your favorite? Because it's just the best of the genre?
I think it's the best of the genre, but I'm telling you, dude, Lower Decks is just
Oh
oh
man,
my god.
that's controversial. Oh, there'll be comments.
Oh, you're going to get all the hate mail, man. But I really love Lower Decks. I mean, it is just so wrong. I mean, in so many ways, for all the right reasons, almost. Now, talk about going against your standard Trek flavor. Lower Decks. I mean, you have the functional dysfunctionals in the bowels of the Cerrito running
Mm.
around with their panic attacks.
But Lower Decks, I will say to you, I love Lower Decks. I think it's brilliant because I think it's, but I don't really consider it Star Trek. It's
Right.
not canon. It isn't canon. The stuff that goes on in that series, you know, and more importantly, though, I think to me, it's like it's a love letter to the next generation.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really Star Trek in like the strictest sense of the word.
When I turn on Paramount Plus here in the U.S., if
Mm,
if I have right now, my choices are Prodigy, Lower Decks, or the new Discovery
mm.
episode or season 4 episode. I start off with Lower Decks because, like, what in the hell are they going to do this week?
All right, then. My favorite. If I'm going to say my favorite series is TNG. If we go back to proper Star Trek,
Right.
but I honestly think I'm with you. The best series of Star Trek is Deep Space Nine, and that gets a lot of. It doesn't get a lot of love sometimes. Deep Space Nine. But I'm with you. I think it broke the mold of what Star Trek was.
Right.
You get episodes. We'll go talk about the series in specifics, but in the Pale Moonlight with Cisco, broke the wall down, and Cisco was talking about this plan that they'd had to to get the Romulans involved in the Dominion War, and it really showed a dark side not only of Cisco but of the Federation.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I'd ever seen it like TNG touched on this occasion. There's a couple of episodes where you see the dark side of the Federation, um, but not really. The Pegasus episode, a couple of others. But in this, it really we saw what people are actually capable of when we're threatened and when we're backs against the wall, sort of thing, and what humanity's capable of. And it was I don't know, it was more realistic. than maybe TNG, whereas that you know it was this utopia, the golden age of the Federation, and everything else, and everything was all lovely and fuzzy, you know.
Right.
Whereas DS9 got a bit grittier.
You know, like Cisco is, you know, the real problem with the Federation is Earth. You know, because on Earth it's a paradise, no one's hungry, there's no homelessness and everything. But out here, you know, at the ass end of Federation space, it's not Earth.
So I put a poll on last week. Here we go. We got 213 votes. But the question was, what is the best Star Trek? And then what really inspired us to do this video was actually after it had been up 2 or 3 days, Deep Space Nine was way ahead. I mean, Deep Space Nine was like 40% of the votes or something. But I mean, obviously more votes came in and it's evened out a little bit. And so I'll give you the numbers. The original series, 18%. The Next Generation was the winner with 36%, just over a third of the votes. Voyager, 16%. Deep Space Nine, 21%, which I thought was really interesting. And Enterprise, 9%. Is there anything that really surprises you with those numbers?
Yeah, you know, it's every generation has a track. I mean, there's so much material out there. Oh, if you throw in the books and the comic books, I mean, there's literally something for damn near everybody to fan over, you know. I mean,
that's why I love the TNG. So that's my Star Trek. That was this Trek when I was like 15, 16, blah, 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 you know. So that's mine. Like, you know.
And I think it's just such a wealth of material, and deep storytelling is. I think that's why it has such a broad audience. Is there's something for everybody. You know, depending on what kind of story style you want. You know, you may be. I mean, you may have kids that are just, you know, neck deep in Prodigy because it tells a wholly different side of the story.
Can't talk about Prodigy because we haven't got it in the UK yet. We're not allowed it.
Well, no, we have Prodigy and T. What does that tell you?
Yeah, the Americans are spoiled.